Welcome to In the Deep. I'm your host, Catherine Ingram. The following is excerpted from a session of Dharma Dialogues called Coexisting Awareness. It was recorded in Los Angeles in 2003. So often we labor with spiritual beliefs in thinking that if we have problems and if our minds are agitated, we can't have peace. And we spend a lot of time trying to quiet our minds, trying to make our minds be quiet. And many spiritual traditions encourage this, and people go to great, great lengths to still their minds. And it's practically impossible, probably impossible, to do. So people feel like a great failure in their spiritual endeavors, and they feel that they can't really know peace because they have peace linked up with this idea of a quiet, still mind and a situation where there are no problems. But wrong planet. Just isn't that way. If your peace is contingent on circumstances being lovely all the time, no problems, and a quiet mind, you're not going to experience much peace. Maybe a few minutes now and again. The nature of being in form is that things tend to disintegrate out of form. All kinds of noise is happening. All kinds of difficulties, sadnesses, disappointments. This is the nature of life, isn't it? To deny it is just folly and is unkind, is cruel to yourself. The question is it possible for there to be agitation in the mind and a container of silence that holds that agitation? Is it possible to have a lot of turbulence in life, a lot of problems, and yet feel peace throughout? Even though you experience the problems as problems, and even though you may feel a lot of agitation around those problems, is it possible to have that happening simultaneously with peace? So what I like to speak about is something that I call a coexisting awareness, where there's an awareness of difficulties, of turbulence, of sadnesses, of the incredible, shocking cruelty in the world and the stupidity of humankind in continuing to wage war and all kinds of craziness. That all of this agitation that we feel as human beings, as feeling, thinking creatures, coexist in awareness with this vast field of silence, of quiet, of peace, of harmony, of love. Our intelligence, our heart intelligence, can easily contain these two types of awareness. So then what you begin to experience is that no matter how strong the ripples of mind become, no matter how difficult your particular problems may become, it throws into high relief the powerful container of silence in which all of that is occurring. You know how sometimes you might be having a nightmare, and just when things are getting really bad, you wake up, isn't it? You know, you don't quite get stabbed, you don't quite get caught when someone's chasing you, you don't quite land when you went off the cliff. You wake up. And in a similar way, as the habit of noticing this quiet that contains all activity of mind becomes strong, just when you feel you're about to be engulfed by the madness, it's just about to overtake you, you're really caught in it, you're obsessed, you think that's all that's going on, suddenly this other awareness wakes up, this coexisting awareness comes to the fore, and you realize, it's all just floating in this vast space. All of it. All of it floating in vast reaches of space. And you begin to sense the inner space and the outer space starting to meld. And then your problems and the difficulties, and even the difficulties of the whole world, we grant them their truth, of course. But they also have their place in this vast space. And you begin to see, yes, war does happen, yes. There is tremendous cruelty, but there's also tremendous beauty, tremendous mercy, tremendous compassion, tremendous beauty. And you say, yes, I have these problems, and they're difficult, they hurt. Yes, it's true. And yet, this precious life, this wonderful life, all of it coexisting. And you begin to relax more and more in this ground or field of silence in which all of these plays of light and darkness are happening. And that becomes more and more how you feel yourself at home. And then you don't demand changes of circumstance for your peace. You realize your peace is only ever found in the unshakable acceptance of whatever is occurring. And the knowing of the great untouchability of this silence, that nothing ever scars it.
Talking about the how did you put it?
Coexisting awareness.
Yes. There have been periods in my life where I feel like have one foot. Well, okay, it's not a divided camp, but let's say just for a minute that it is one foot more in the awareness of watching those problems that come up, and then sometimes being capitulated and caught up in the anxiety of those problems. And just sitting here, I was thinking, okay, so why is that? And I kind of struck on the note for me of trust. Like, I don't really trust that it will resolve or be taken care of in a way that I'm going to be happy with. And so whether maybe it's my ego, starts willing or projecting or saying, well, no, but it's got to be this way and now. And so how do you, how do you get around that point?
Well, the trust starts to develop in the fact that however it turns out, you're going to be experiencing your peace.
Yeah, I know that here, and certain parts of my body know that, but then it's like you get disappointed several times and you think, well, maybe that's not really true because you're not really happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah, but then the disappointment itself can keep leading you back to the place where it is unconditional, right? The disappointment, the pain of the disappointment can lead you into the awareness of where you're not disappointed, where you had no appointment in the first place, right? Mm-hmm. You go, it keeps reminding you of the clear screen where it's all okay, it's fine. And that, look, any endeavors in life and any involvements in life, they're fraught with disappointment. No matter how good we are and how we get all our ducks in a row and we line it up and we work it and we try hard and we do all the right things, and still, it's just the way it is. If that's the domain where you're hoping to get it worked out so that you can feel finally fulfilled, it just never works out. The fulfillment is not about the working of the situations. The fulfillment is despite everything, despite it all. And then you're sort of home free, however it works out, And I don't mean this in terms of saying kind of some Pollyannish interpretation of, I was supposed to learn that lesson, I was supposed to learn this lesson. More that you keep finding the peace in things that are just damn hard, right? Or beyond, you find the peace that is just not touched, no matter how damn hard it is. And when no nice face ever gets put on the thing, The disappointment is, if you're a passionate being, you do feel disappointment. And you feel ecstasy, that's the range you're often feeling. So you live in a way, you coexist, the passion coexists, you engage, you show up, you laugh, you cry, you celebrate, you mourn. You do all those things in life in a full and complete way, a real, alive life. But through it all, there's this steadiness that grows and that you keep knowing more and more strongly as your home, and you become less willing to forget your home. This has been In the Deep. To support these podcasts, you can subscribe to this channel on iTunes or post a review there. If you'd like to know more about my work, book a private session, or make a tax-deductible donation for the ongoing production of the podcasts, please visit katherineingram.com. Till next time.